All right, here's a Reddit story that I found pretty funny. I used to babysit this kid named Timmy. Timmy was an only child. His parents were super rich and they would pay me $40 an hour to just hang out with their son. Well, one day I was hanging out with Timmy in his room and he starts telling me about how he wants to kill all the students at his school. Now, being that this is a Reddit story, obviously the kid had a little bit of a messed up home life. He would always come home from school crying because other kids would make fun of him for having acne. And the kid wasn't even 10 yet. I tried reasoning with him and telling him that if he had a really bad day at school, we could just do something fun at home like play video games or watch a movie. But no, he insisted that he wanted to kill all the kids at his school. Obviously, being the caring babysitter that I was, I didn't take this threat very seriously and just figured that it was some over-dramatic nonsense that kids sometimes say. So I changed the subject and tried to get Timmy to open up to me about what was really bothering him. Well, turns out that after he told me about wanting to kill all the other kids at school, his parents came in and started asking me questions. Turns out they weren't as unbothered by this threat as I was. They asked if I thought Timmy was actually serious about this, and I said that I didn't. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't think that a kid threatening to kill other kids at school was serious? But they insisted that we needed to talk about it more and proceeded to question me for another 30 minutes straight while Timmy sat there playing a video game completely unfazed by the fact that his parents were interrogating me. After I gave them my full account of the situation, they finally left and I went back to watching TV with Timmy. About 15 minutes later, his parents came back in and told him that he was grounded and that I should stay over for dinner. At this point, I was starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable because this was the first time that I had ever been invited to one of my clients' houses for dinner. Normally, when a family invites you to have dinner, they usually expect you to bring a dish to share or at least offer to help out in some way. But I was just a babysitter. I didn't know these people. All I had was a few dollars in my pocket. What was I supposed to do? Well, being the thoughtful babysitter that I was, I ended up going to the grocery store down the street and buying a bottle of wine to bring back. Yeah, that's right, a bottle of wine. When I returned home with the bottle of wine, Timmy's parents were so happy that I had brought back a gift. They thanked me profusely and told me that I was such a good kid. I swear to God, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that these people were trying to wind me up. Anyway, after I gave them the bottle of wine, they took me to this restaurant that they apparently frequented and they bought me a kid's meal. Yeah, they literally bought me a kid's meal. It was so embarrassing. I was almost 20 years old and I had to eat chicken fingers and macaroni and cheese in front of these grown adults. It was awful. But the most awkward part about this whole situation was that Timmy was also there. He sat across the table from me eating his own kid's meal while his parents talked to me about how much they appreciated me buying them wine. I swear to God, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that they were trying to buy me off. Anyways, after dinner, they brought me back home and paid me for the night. Then they called me a cab to go home. The whole way home, I kept thinking about how weird this family was. I mean, they were definitely weird. Threatening to kill other kids at school is not normal behavior. I don't care how much acne they were making fun of you for. Well, anyways, the next day I got a text message from Timmy's mom asking me if I could come over again tomorrow. I told her that I couldn't and that I would give her a call later to try and set up another day. To this day, she has still not texted me again. I honestly think that she was trying to buy me off with that free kids meal. Like, why else would she invite me to dinner if she knew that I wasn't going to contribute anything? Anyways, yeah, there's my story. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.